Okay, if you follow this comment back, it'll take you to the video. I was unable to stitch this creator's video or duet it or do anything. He has those off. So I went down into his comment section and he's responding to somebody that said, so you're blaming Americans and not Trump, right? And so this is his response. Have you seen how many people are telling farmers to piss off? Hope that works out for us when the food gets scarce. What you're leaving out of that is these farmers are coming online to tell us that the majority of their food isn't even given to Americans. It's sold to China and Mexico, which is why they're in this pickle. So this is not a situation where farmers won't be able to feed Americans. This is a situation where farmers will not be able to make money in the global market, and that is a Trump decision. But this idea that Americans are practicing zero empathy for people who went into a booth with zero empathy is rich. But this is the thinking that has allowed colonization and the oppressed to remain oppressed, because it's always the oppressors asking of the oppressed what they refuse to give to the oppressed. Now, in my space, I talk about empathy and I teach empathy, and I would encourage you to get my book. It's called The Empathy Gap. It is black and white. And I think you will learn some things about the way that white people engage with empathy in relation to black people. But I think you will find that that's how white people engage with empathy in relation to everybody else. Right? Another thing that I teach in my space is that empathy has to come with boundaries, right? And if you don't regulate your empathy and put boundaries around it, people will abuse you. What farmers have done in this country, right? What they have done is they've been taken from the American public by way of farm subsidies for decades. And then they take those farm subsidies, right? That gives them an inflated sense of who they are and gives them an inflated sense of their Americanness. And they go into voting booths and they look down on immigrants, they look down on black people, they look down on poor people, disabled people, gay people, trans people. And now that the system is turning on them, you come on this internet to ask Americans where is their empathy, instead of going back to the farmers and saying it is your lack of empathy for other people that got you here. It's not Americans' lack of empathy for you, because Americans went into the booth filled with empathy for you to vote for you and your best interests. And it was your lack of empathy for anybody who was not you that got you here. I think it's very rich to come onto the internet to lecture Americans about empathy for people who went into a voting booth with zero empathy for them. Now, I will say that in order for us to move forward as a country, black people, white people, gay people, trans people, poor people, I won't even say, and I would say well-to-do people, because the rich have no interest in doing anything for us but enslaving us more underneath the capitalistic system. But in order for us to move forward, we have to have empathy for each other. But the work of empathy is for those farmers and their families to go back and say, what is it about? What was going on with me? What do I need to look at in myself that allowed me to go into a voting booth and vote for somebody who I knew was going to enact policies to harm other people, but I did not care because I believed it would benefit me. What is going on with me? And until those people work that out, they can't come to the people who was already standing on the side with them to say, work with me. I've said this many times before. When you see people come on this internet to regret their vote, it is a fool's errand to open up your house, open up your door, and open up your resources to these people, especially if those people haven't done the work, the real work of empathy before they try to come into community. And so as an American who voted to protect farm subsidies, I am more than willing to work with any American who wants to work for a better country and a better future. But those Americans have to do their work. They have to do their work of empathy. What was going on with them that allowed them to go into a booth and only think about themselves? And now that they're being harmed, coming to us and saying, why won't you think about me? My question to them is, why didn't you think about me?